A giraffe can't fit through this door. With these curtains blocking the light, how are the birds gonna sing in the sunshine? And this is the opposite of a nice hug. I know you all worked hard, but none of you did anything I asked for.
Don't worry, I've got this. See, that's the way to do it. For the long time, Fluttershy was one of the reasons why I was not making my own list of favorite ponies, simply because on one hand I could relate to some of her traits like kindness and shyness, but on the other there were times where she even annoyed me. But in light of recent episode, she's now my third favorite, number 2 being Twilight. For a character who started as someone who was literally afraid of her own shadow, she really changed so much. Faced many creatures like Manticore or Dragon, confronted Minotaur and Draconequest multiple times, overcome her fears, helped Breezes and conflicted Twin Cons while saving Equestria in between. Out of all the characters in this show, her road of character progression is probably the longest, but I'm not counting Starlight because that's the separate case. And for that, I really like Fluttershy now, but that's also what concerns me in this episode. I might like it, but there are fans of her who would not appreciate such a drastic change, even though it happened throughout the series, not after one season. But still, many fall in love with the old Fluttershy, timid and scared, and now we have some pony far from that, bold and assertive, yet still kind. I really hope to be wrong about possible existence of rabid fans who dislike such change, because keeping Fluttershy at the same state as she was in season 1 or 2 would only hurt her. Growing up means your character change too, that's inevitable. So rather we should celebrate this episode as a holy grail for her fans, a conclusion of all the build-up from the past episodes. It might turn up as usual, her being shy and agreeing on everything experts gives her, but instead she stands there, bold up, saying straight up, that's not what I wanted. Already a big win for not making 2 steps backward as she tended to do in the past. And also the sole fact of her having some lifelong goal. Up until now this point, we pretty much know about Lauren Faust's vision for Twilight and Rarity's fate, while Rainbow Dash was pretty much obvious. However, Pinkie, Applejack and Fluttershy never seem to have any ambitions. Until now. Sure, it came out of nowhere, so this is a nitpick, but still, the fact that this animal sanctuary was her dream already builds up even more for her character, and just like Rarity managing her business or Rainbow Dash training with Wonderbolts, Fluttershy now have a new goal to take care of this place and animals in it, which also can result in a few background mentions and centered episodes. That however also begs the question, does Applejack also have any ambitious dream? Given what we know about her at this point, especially with what we've seen in Where the Apple Lies, it is highly possible that her lifelong goal is to run the farm. As for Pinkie, she's an enigma, and her ambitions might as well be to keep doing what she's doing. And that's what we know about those two, at least until the show surprises us with something, just like it did here. But, just like always with making dream a reality, there must be some problems and obstacles. And like Rarity had sassy saddles in Canterlot Boutique, Fluttershy have these 3. And, outside of building the conflict, what was the point of having them? I can understand the construction pony, but interior designer? This is an open space, there are no interiors, plus animals don't require some fancy carpets or wall decorations. Or what about the animal tamer? Fluttershy might as well talk with the animals on her own, and keeping animals in cages kinda misses the point of free open space. Only the construction pony was necessary in this project. But, just like the other two, he completely ignored Fluttershy's direction. And they are calling themselves professionals? I agree, at first it didn't look like a clear vision, but later she had it pretty clear with hand drawing. For me that's already enough. What do you want from her? To make a fully professional blueprint? I'm sorry, but that's his job and one of the reasons why she asked him for help. And yet, even though she gave him clear instruction of making it an open space, he immediately ditched that idea and started making a building. This whole situation reminds me of an artist doing commissions and someone commissioning him. I know that from my personal experience and advices from many of said artists that you need to be clear with your vision. In my opinion, having a hand drawing of your sea is already a good reference for artists to work with, but I'm not an expert in topic. Still, if someone have clear vision of how the art is supposed to look, artist should not do something on his own, unless the client says that he is allowed to surprise with something. And Fluttershy was very clear with how she wants this place to look like. It's those three who are not professional. Another sign of their incompetence is the sole fact that they couldn't do it how Fluttershy want, but Big Daddy McCold, nice cameo by the way, had absolutely no problem with following her vision and making it even better than she dreamed about. And so we've ended up in another episode showing professionals in bad light so Fluttershy could shine. I don't mind it here, but can we finally get an episode where professionals are actually competent? And the last thing are new animals we've seen in this episode. They're nice. What, you were expecting me going on rant of how bad the design of giraffe is? Come on, knowing that Pony's design was inspired by cats, can we really have problems with giraffe? Still, the fact that it is not a sapient creature but zebras are, is actually a strange thing. There isn't much to talk about, it's pretty much a straightforward episode, and yet in its simplicity, this is, in my eyes, a gem among Fluttershy's episode. She's still kind, she keeps a bit of her shyness, yet she is bold and assertive, ready to stand up for her dream. Finally, the lesson from It Ain't Easy Being Breezy and further paid off in this one. And even though she yelled at experts, this wasn't aggressive yell, like in putting your hoof down, but more like assertiveness mixed with frustration of seeing the exact opposite of what she was expecting to be done. In this whole scene, she had all rights to react that way, and yet I didn't felt any aggression in her. On the other hand, we have experts who, once again, are experts only by their name, but not in how they are doing their job. Yes, clients need their guidance if they don't have clear vision, and Fluttershy had clear vision, plus at least two of them were unnecessary element in this project. Other than that, we have some nice little world building in form of the new animals seen in this episode, and I don't think their design is that big of a problem. I think this episode is actually quite memorable as a great conclusion of Fluttershy's growth as a character, and even though there isn't much to talk about or analyze, I still think it's one of the better episodes of season 7 so far, and one of the better Fluttershy episodes. I'm Sharpwood, and is it bad that I don't feel sorry for Angel Bunny? Thanks for watching.